weekly roundup on SA Footballer TV. I'm your host, Tommy Javor, and welcome for a new season. I'll introduce two of my co-hosts for tonight. They are, of course, Darcy Evans.
How you going, TJ? You well for a new year?
Great to have you back, mate. And tell us what's happening in Darcy's football world this year.
Still tight bit of Flinders Park and obviously the Woodford West Times Football Club, so we're going well with both at the moment, so it's really good.
Yep. And new to our show, but a fan of, he was on Grassroots, he was on Wow FM, he's been around the trap, so Wayne Knowles, welcome.
Welcome, TJ. Thank you very much. Darcy, how are we, boys?
Yep. Now, Wayne, you've coached more teams than Ron Barassi, of course, formerly Ingle Farm as a premiership coach.
Yes.
Brahma Lodge, stop me when I'm wrong, Mawson Lakes, and now you find yourself at the Bays.
I am at Glenelg, yes, TJ. I'm tied up with the under-16s out of there and loving every moment of it. It's really good.
Yep. So look, thanks for joining us. So we've all, obviously, we're football people. We love our football. I'm tied up with payment. We also work for the SANFL in various capacities, but we just want to point out that the opinions and thoughts on here are based on amateur league and our own personal thoughts and opinions, and not those of the SANFL. Just got to get that one out there. I've been told I needed to say it. It said we're starting with Division 6 results.
Yes, TJ, West Croydon continue their winning ways, absolutely annihilating Adelaide Lutheran, 20 goal 14, 134. Adelaide Lutheran 7 goal 3, 45. So big win there. Obviously goal kickers got Woodstock leading way again with 6 goals.
Woodcock, not Woodstock. You get your mind on the bourbon.
Exactly. Cameron Kinnan with 4 goals. Cameron, look, he's 41 years old, still bagging some goals, playing A grade. That's great effort from Cameron. They've got Summer with 2, O'Toole with 2, and then Nicole with Francis, Wilson, Smith, Horseman, and Francis with 1 each. So a bag of goal kickers there for...
Yeah, the 10 goal kickers in West Croydon. Not so good on the other side though, was it?
No, exactly not. So Zubanik with 2, Stowe now with 2, Starzik with 2, Hickey and Prater with 1 each. So just a few goal kickers there, but great way for West Croydon.
Yeah, good spread of best players as well for West Croydon with Wilson, Davies, something in there. No real surprise there, Knowlesy, top versus bottom. And,
not really. Not for me, no.
Yeah,
Leeds will struggle this year.
Yep, 88 points, so we won't dress that one up. I'll move straight on to Fitzroy, who've had a very big win. And it is their first win in a while, certainly their first win this year. It was Fitzroy 17-18, 120, Mitchell Park 14-8, 92. Mitchell Park probably just finding the going a bit tougher this year. So for Fitzroy, Cotter kicked 6, Eggle kicked 3, Smith, Whedon both kicked doubles. Whilst for Mitchell Park, the goal kickers were Nate McDonald, ageless that old Nate.
I was going to say that McDonald boys, they'd be up around Cam's age, I reckon.
Yeah,
getting up there.
They're a couple of years younger than me. I've butted heads with those over the years. So Nate kicked 6, Hand kicked 4, and a multiple of singles. Better players for Fitzroy. It was Asfaha. I have trouble with that name every year. I'm sorry, mate. I don't know how to say your name. Cotter and Nelson. Whilst better players for Mitchell Park were Helm and Nate McDonald, deservedly with his 6.
All right. Not much. Really, I'm pretty sure Fitzroy would have had to win at home this week, last week.
Well, we did record last week's show. I didn't go to air. We talked about this was one of those 4-point games which we hate, but look, they're out of the relegation zone.
Yep, early on. Okay, I'll cover the Houghton versus Brahma Lodge game. Brahma Lodge, I coached for a brief stint last year, but we won't go into that. Brahma Lodge...
How'd it go?
Went for 3 rounds.
Look, this was our game of the round last week as well. Knowlesy, just touch on that.
Yeah.
Both teams came to this one undefeated.
Yes, both teams were undefeated. Houghton coming up from Div 7, runners up last year, doing a very good job. Were fancy favourites last year to win it, but lost the big dance. But yeah, they've settled into Div 6 real well.
Smoking hot favourites, weren't they?
They
really?
were.
Yeah.
They were. Mitchell Park come in, pulled their pants down, and ran away with it.
Yep.
In the end, Brahma Lodge, 19 goals, 1,327, defeated Houghton District, 13 goals, 1,492. Cosenza, Cozzy kicked 5, 3 to Motley, 3 to Hickey. Aloisi popped up with 3, Dean Steele with 2, Savage and 2, and Nelson kicked a single. For Houghton, Snyder 4, McMurtry 2, Jason Dolan, Kamenick, Francis, Ball, Vandermeer, Schutz and Bray with singles. Best players for the Tigers, Savage, Steele, Cosenza, Grugovic and Sobels, and for Houghton, McMurtry, Vandermeer, Curry, Schultz and Schneider.
Fantastically done there, mate. And we'll move on to the next game, which is Woody South against another team you used to coach, Mawson Lakes. So we're looking forward to your opinions when we come to the previews. You're going to
did it a Div 6
and
specialist.
then the last game's got Ingle Farm in it, who you also coached. Look, the next one was Woody South 11-13, 79. Mawson Lakes 10-5, 65. 14-point win there, a big win there for Woody South. That one there, of course, sees them sitting at 5 for the first time in a few years. Yes, apart from they did win round 1 last year.
They're going to have a great year this year. If we win the first round, but that's great. They come off finally got a win on the board, and they were relegated, so they got on Woody South just to get that first win on the board they needed.
Yet again, we did speak about how Adam Clifford would turn that club around.
Actually, I met Adam Clifford on Wednesday night. I've talked about him for years on these sort of shows, and he was a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Just going to the leading goal kickers, Woody South was Zasevic with 4, McNeil and Clark both with doubles, whilst the Mawson Lakes, Mendrin kicked 3 and Hayden kicked 2, the rest were all singles. 40 South, Giatarokis was good, and she's got a few vowels in there. Percy, Matthews and Gosling, whilst for Mawson Lakes, Carr, Bennett and Delbridge were the better players.
Okay, last one of round 2 for round 3, sorry, for Div 6. Ingle Farm versus Trinity out at the college out there at Gawler. Ingle Farm 15 goals, 9.99. Got up to a close one with Trinity, 14 goals, 9.93, one straight kick in it. Goal kickers, Spence, Lynch, Daniel Bryant, your lovely friend Daniel, the Ranger. Both all kicked 2. Sumner, Cree, Manning, Coleman, Verrigan, Matthews, Daniwa, Sanderson, Ian Pryor all popped up with 1. Trinity, Hooker with 5, Lamont with 2, and then another heap of singles out there as well. Best players for Trinity were Hooker, Peters, Cameron, Spur and Clark. At the Farmers you had Dan Bryant, BOG. I reckon he probably gave his own votes. Verrigan, Hancock, Daniwa and Pryor.
Yeah, apparently when they got the awards they're calling the top 2 top deck, as they right on top of their game, those two boys.
Hope he had plenty of sunscreen on Saturday because it was a pretty warm day, and I know that very sun susceptible, the red-headed fella.
They are, all of them.
Yes.
Look, it's a great start for Ingle Farm now 3-0, and we're going to get straight onto this week's games because our aim this year is to tighten the show up to inside 10 minutes because
Let's tell the truth though, Tommy, you've got to be home for dinner. Okay.
Right, our first game this week is it comes to us. It's Mitchell Park and Trinity Old Scholars. It is at Mitchell Park Oval. I'm sure there'll be a good crowd. Mitchell Park sitting in 9th, Trinity sitting in 6th.
Trinity for me, just.
You're the
Trinity for me, just. I reckon Chris Eaton will have him cherry right to go there. He's probably adding a different aspect to what a Trinity College side used to be like, a bit more toughness. I think they'll get the job done.
It's a really long drive.
Yeah, I've gone for Mitchell Park for that reason. Long drive at home, and Mitchell Park have consolidated very well in the last few years since they poor season a few years ago.
Haven't checked the list and didn't see his name by. Is Cotter still the man to stop at Trinity?
Yeah, Cotter's. He's not the main man, but he's got a bit of help up there this year. But he's still there, Cotter.
I'll take Mitchell Park to get their first win of the year in an upset. Yeah, no, look, these teams they'll be hungry. Well, if they go 0-4, they could come back from whence they came, which would be no good for them.
That's true.
Next one is Woody South and Houghton Districts. This one is, of course, they call it Neurovision Oval. Is that what they call it?
New Vision.
New Vision?
New Vision, yes.
That's what I need, New Vision.
Yes, you do.
Your thoughts, mate?
Woody South at home.
Yep.
Woody South at home for me.
Yep, agree. Woody South, they come good.
Houghton's bubble's just going to be burst a little bit, and they're just going to have to work a bit harder, I think.
Yeah, both teams sitting 2-1. I like I don't like the forums anymore. I don't contribute to them, but there's some interesting posters on there. The Q man. I reckon there's a little bit of steel about Houghton, and they'll prove it this week with. I don't think it'll be an upset. I just think Houghton will win. So I'll go against you boys in this one.
Okay.
We'll come back to that one. I reckon that's game in around any day of the week. So we're going to go two teams that probably be very keen to get a win this week. Well, you're keen every week, but Adelaide Lutheran and Mawson Lakes. Can our colleague from the Dirty Dozen, can he get his team up for the first win of the year at Adelaide Lutheran, or will Mawson Lakes get their second? Kim Hillard, I speak of course, sorry.
Kimbo, birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll probably go Luthies this week, just because of being home in the Parklands. Always a tough ground to play. If there's a bit of breeze, catches you out there.
Yeah, same here.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Adelaide Lutheran, first win of the year.
I'll take Mawson Lakes on this one, boys. I obviously, as former St Paul's boys, we've got what are we, 16 teams?
There's no affiliation with the school anymore, Tommy. Remember that?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, all the guys that went to the school that play for Mawson Lakes.
Okay, fair enough. Yep.
And I think Mawson Lakes has probably been a bit more consistent so far this year. The new Luthi group's still trying to meld together. Next one is Brahma, Lodge and Fitzroy. Let's have a quick look at the ladder, boys. It's 4th versus 7th. Brahma Lodge 2-1, Fitzroy 1-2. Fitzroy, winning form's good form. You can't do much more than that, but I think they'll hit a stumbling block in the Lodge this week. Darcy?
I'm going Fitzroy.
Ooh.
One Fitzroy upset.
Darcy.
Yeah, big upset.
Tigers for me.
Something about Fitzroy, I don't know. They're going to do something some stage.
Brahma's just got too much firepower up front. You've got to stop Timmy Aloisi. I see Cozzy's popped up with 5. Dean Steele's running around the midfield kicking goals. Bit hard, I reckon. Bit harder job for Fitzroy this week.
Yep. Our last one, the game of the round, it's at Roe Park, Ingle Farm. It's Ingle Farm and West Croydon, a battle of 1 versus 2, both teams undefeated. We don't need to talk this one up. Statistics could do it itself. I'm taking West Croydon to gain the ascendancy in this first time of probably the 4 times they'll meet this year.
No, Farmers for me. Still got a soft spot for the Farmers. Big crowd at Roe Park. Some of their new blokes coming in, they're going to start to get to know each other. They picked up a couple late last week. Peter Verrigan come back, which was all over the forum. Wasn't that like a rash? But Farmers for me at home.
West Croydon for me, I reckon they're coming good. Even though they lost Dallas was their coach, I reckon they've still got that momentum from last year. I reckon they'll take over because they'll be
where I think West Croydon will get. I agree with you completely. Where they might get Ingle Farm, I'm not sure Ingle Farm are going to have enough tall defenders to match the big Cam McKinnons, your Woodcock running around jumping over packs. I think West Croydon in a high scoring thriller. This has been the Div 6 roundup. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week.
See you later.
See you guys.